Chainsaw Man, and I would like to start off by saying this is the second to last chapter. And all called that shit aside because we got a lot of bullshit from everybody. Like, oh, it's not going to end. That's ridiculous. Why do you want it to end? Just saying. We called it. But that'll be a whole separate video. Look forward to that. If you're familiar with the video Actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf, where they fucking just put an ungodly amount of budget and production value towards a concept that really didn't need it, that's what I want to try to emulate with our Called That Shit video. We'll see. We don't really have budget or a crew, but I'll do what I can. But look forward to that later. Mainly what I want to say is two things. One, y'all fucking weak, okay? Because I see, I'm going to blame you and not us, because that's what I like to do. I see the views on the reviews going down. We used to get 1,000, 2,000. Now they're down to like 800, 700. And my guess is, because we haven't changed shit over here, my guess is that people lost interest once they realized it was ending. Which is that's and you know the type of people I'm talking about, David. The people that like they want shit to go on forever. They want it to be The Simpsons. They want it to be fucking DBZ style. And I feel like there was genuinely people that were like, "Oh, it's ending. I've lost interest," and that's fucking stupid because that's the one time you should have the most interest. Like, oh shit, it's wrapping up. So that's some weak sauce shit. And then the last thing I'll say, and I'll hand it over to David. After insulting you, I'm going to ask you for some advice. How do we keep you guys around, you Chainsaw Man viewers? We review Dr. Stone, we review One Piece, in maybe like next month or so, we're gonna start reviewing Jujutsu Kaisen and Black Clover. What would you guys like to see? Give us the tea in the comments on what would keep you guys around. But yeah, I'll hand it over to you, David.
So, could you imagine a world where Chainsaw Man became the next Simpsons? I don't want to picture that because we all know that The Simpsons is just dog shit anymore. Like, there's the meme that The Simpsons predicted it, but, like, have you seen modern Simpsons?
Well, the amount of times I see that fucking The Simpsons predicted it, it's so disingenuous because it's, like, episodes that came after it. Like, people always use that one with Trump coming down the escalator. That was made after Trump came down that escalator.
Yeah, like, there's that, but there's also, like, the Sphere episode where they're predicting Saudi shit. There's a lot of future sight in the Simpsons writers' room. I'm not going to deny that. But
well, it's easy when you've done literally everything. I don't
exactly. There's an aspect of like when you throw 1,000,000 darts at the dartboard.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
You're gonna hit it at least once, but no, like this manga works so well in a short format because you're able to tell a very succinct, thorough story in a very asinine way.
It's so interesting to see because you see the divide, because even people I respect, like some of our fans, you know, like I see them upset about it ending right now and thinking it's underwhelming, but like I don't know, maybe it's just the effect of like the less is more effect, but like I've been completely satisfied with almost every single aspect of this series. I don't like, it's weird. I'm like not upset at all about not learning certain things. I just think it just feels right to me for some reason. And I was even going to point out too, I don't remember which one of our fans, but someone was talking about how they thought this most recent arc was like weird and a waste of time. But like, I actually really like how this series ended, at least for now. We'll see what happens in the next chapter. But I'm a really big fan of how much time was dedicated towards the final Makima fight. Because, David, here's a little thought experiment. How many manga have you and I read? Because you and I, we were Bleach boys. Remember the Bleach days, you and me?
Yeah.
How many manga have we read, David, that build up a main villain for years and years and years, only to have them beaten in like 2 chapters?
Are we counting spin-offs?
Literally anything.
Because, I mean, you could add like 7 different fucking Yu-Gi-Ohs at the final fight.
You know what I mean, though, right? Like, and that's always really disappointing and fucking annoying, right?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So, like, my point is it not kind of fucking... You know what? I'm sorry. I'm going to start using it unironically. Is it not poggers as shit that Makima's final fight, and I'm counting from Makima fucking with the chainsaw, Makima fucking with the gun devil to the Aki shit, because really that's, to me, the final act of this series began with Makima versus the gun devil. And that going through to the Aki stuff, going through to the probably 10 chapter long fight of Makima fighting Chainsaw Man. Like, I love how long that was, because that to me felt like a very satisfying final battle. Makima put up her dukes and fucking actually really did do a lot of stuff. It just feels it feels satisfying to me. And even the way they get her here, it makes sense to me. I like the idea of, to me it makes total sense that Power, the blood devil, if you get Power's blood in someone that can constantly regenerate, she could keep you from healing fully. Because, like, my headcanon here, because he says her blood is running havoc in you or something. Let me see the actual words here. I'm making it run amok inside of you. So we've seen what Power can do as the blood devil, right? Like, create spears out of that shit. So I'm imagining, like, if you have blood, if you're controlling someone's blood, think like blood bending from fucking Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? But like on a much more legit scale. So what's probably happening, like, you could do almost anything. You could hold her down like that. You could make sure blood isn't going to certain organs. You could over pump the blood to certain organs to explode those organs. Essentially what I'm imagining is happening is they're just constantly fucking her up on the inside over and over again so that she doesn't regenerate, and her regeneration is focused on that rather than like healing the actual cut. It kind of makes me think of Mustang versus I think it was Lust, when he's just burning her so quickly that she just can't regenerate. Like, and to me that seems like a totally viable thing, right? Like, she's not dying, this doesn't kill her, and she even says, like, if you think this is gonna kill me, you're an idiot. And he's like, yeah, I know it won't. And if the fucking way that they end up defeating her is by literally chopping her up, putting her in little fucking Tupperware cases and grilling her up and eating her, that you cannot deny, that's pretty fucking unique.
Yeah, like, in a way, she got what she wanted. The Chainsaw Man ate her.
No, but the shit version, the like B movie version that she hates.
And that's because Denji had to win. Like,
beautiful justice. No, not necessarily. I would not put it past this author for next chapter. So, and we'll talk about that, but like Kishibe says, and I generally trust Kishibe's words on this. Kishibe says, to be clear, I don't believe you can kill Makima with this method you're about to try. Be prepared for the possibility that you'll fail and die. He's straight up like, I don't think this is going to work, but like, good luck, bro.
It's like, see ya.
So
let me go get a bottle. I'm going to need it.
Yeah, my take on what's going to happen here, genuinely, and then I'll leave it to you for some talks here. I really do think that it's going to end in almost like a neutral way, where like Denji doesn't fully win and Makima doesn't fully win. I think they might become like a single being, where they kind of have to live with it, because like he says, that's kind of what he says. I want to become one with you. And in a weird way, he'd get what he wanted, because he does like love her in a way, and I like that too, because unlike a scene that I've made fun of a lot in the past, which is Naruto with Karin still loving Sasuke after fucking blowing a hole through her chest. Like in this situation, Denji, I do kind of still get why Denji would have feelings for Makima, because even though it was for bullshit reasons, even though she tried to kill him, she did pull him out of basically the worst possible life he could ever have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's something she still did, regardless of motivation. So that's kind of, you're gonna catch feelings for something like that regardless. And they still had those dates they went on. That felt really fucking real to me, and I don't know if we'll ever know if those were genuine or not. I guess she doesn't seem to like Denji, and I guess maybe they weren't, but like maybe they're genuine to him. But either way, I get why he'd still have feelings for her. So it's just, I don't know. I really like that. I'm on an emotional level. Go ahead, David.
So I have a lot to say. Unlike most fucking chapter discussions, I'm usually the guy that just bounces off of you, Red, but this one really got to me for some reason, and I can kind of get to why. So one of my favorite anime of all time is Fooly Cooly. And to me, Chainsaw Man has been a long-form version of Fooly Cooly. You feel me there?
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, it is the most absurd fucking thing I have ever read in my entire goddamn life, and I fucking love it for that.
But what's interesting too, just as to quickly bounce off, and I'll head it right back to you. I don't like absurd things. Like I like absurd things, but they have to make sense, right? Like I don't like Fooly Cooly because I can't fucking make heads or tails of it. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see where it's going. I don't see the point it's making. But like this, it makes sense to me. It's both absurd, but I get it and I understand where it's going, and the story makes sense, So like it honestly ticks both boxes.
Yeah, so there's a manga version of Fooly Cooly that kind of breaks it down a little bit better than the anime. I would definitely recommend the omnibus that you can see at any Barnes & Noble if you really want to dive into the absurdity that is Fooly Cooly. Because it is a magnificent story when you actually break down. It took me 4 or 5 watches to actually understand it. And luckily, I lived in a time where it would air pretty much constantly on Adult Swim. And the first time I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? And I literally have that effect every chapter of Chainsaw Man. Is like, what the fuck did I just read? Uh, which is something I love. Like, you can go back in our Discord server and every fucking Chainsaw Man chapter, I'm like, what the fuck? And I'll
So
go back and
good, man.
I'll go back and I'll reread it. I'll go back and I'll reread it. I'll go back and I'll reread it.
I think that's an incredibly, incredibly difficult thing to do as an author, to both have the what the fuck effect, but for it to make total sense. Because I think it's probably very tempting to get that what the fuck effect by doing some completely off the walls shit. But if you do too off the walls shit, it's going to seem like you're just throwing random shit at the wall. So to be able to get the what the fuck effect, but also make it feel like you've planned this out perfectly and it makes sense within your world, I love that.
So, like, the counter of the series to me has been Undead Unluck. Series we used to review, and like it became what the fuck for what the
Trying
fuck
too
sake for
hard, do
me.
you think?
Yeah. So when we're going in and making the manga that's at the beginning of the series a plot device, I'm like, okay, kind of. So what the? And then when we're meeting the author, I'm like, okay, you're also plot. And then we're raiding the fucking Shueisha building. I'm like, okay, no, that's too much. We're getting meta for the sake
I'm
of being
excited.
meta.
Is the author going to write himself into the fucking story?
I kind of feel like that's what the author of the manga is like a self-insert character.
I hope he doesn't do that shit that the Powerpuff Girls reboot guy did.
Oh God, no, I hope not. I haven't read the last 5 chapters. I
He
read
wants to
it.
fucking Foucault. So
I haven't read like the last 5 chapters or so. I read like a couple chapters after we dropped it to see if we could pick it back up if it was getting any
Bruh,
good.
I just realized something. Remember how Foucault was like waifu as hell for me from Undead Unlock?
Yeah.
Allie kind of looks like Foucault. Cause like Allie rocks the beanie hardcore. Hold on, I need to look at this shit again.
But anyway, like
no, fuck you. This is wait a minute, bro. Straight up, and she's small, bruh. Bro, I gotta send her Foucault later. Anyway, continue.
so like the counter of this manga to me is Undead Unlock because it was also doing the jump the shark moments like Chainsaw Man was, especially during like the Rize stuff. You know, like literally riding the shark.
Yeah, but that was fucking great.
That was fucking great.
I
but,
think
like,
all of it made sense. Like there was never a point where I thought he was going crazy for crazy's sake.
exactly. Whereas like Undead Unlock is crazy for crazy's sake. So like you
Maybe.
can,
I this is David's opinion to clarify. I haven't read it for a while. I need to catch up.
but like that's my opinion here. It's like so to me I'm like comparing these two because they kind of had a similar feel to them in the absurdity level. But at the same time with Chainsaw Man you have that grounded slice of life story. You have the bits and pieces of like is this romance that really real or is this romance just for show? Is this for me to get close to the Chainsaw Man? Whereas the opposite with like Andy being this eternal being locked in fucking a loop because like literally that is how the world works in Undead is it's just a fucking reset. Um, every time that fucking apocalypse happens, boom, it just resets. So I had almost expected for like the last few chapters of this to be like go to hell and then we're back and then that kind of be like a spinoff. Like, oh, by the way, now we have this new like almost to it because I've seen it compared for a while now to like a Tokyo Ghoul.
Well, he talks about the blood that power gave him. Does that mean did he go to hell off screen, or is this like blood that power gave him earlier? Like, did she give him blood in the dumpster? I don't remember.
Well, he kind of consumed her when you think about it.
Oh, so does he just have it like somewhere in his body? Like, oh, let me just and there it is. Like that
I'm
doesn't mean
guessing
you
that's what
just because you consume someone doesn't mean you just have like blood reservoirs. Like, hold on, where is it? There it is.
I'm guessing he collected blood while he was consuming power. This is Fujimoto. We're never going
It's
to
true.
get all
Did
the
he fucking pull a Kirby? Because because the way he talks about it, he says, I'm making it run amok. Like he's in control of it, which is interesting.
Yeah, it kind of seems like there's a little bit of a Kirby going on. Um, but no, like So for me, this first panel here,
Bro, the after sex cigarette smoke, bro.
yeah, I'm just like, you're surrounded by the corpses of your men
Ugh,
that were your puppets or your simps there,
Makima's so hot, bro.
and then just the Puchita heart.
It's so interesting to see, like, she just gets more and more like, we make the joke that she's a simp for Chainsaw Man, but like, Jesus, dude, like, she's like holding the fucking Puccietta heart up to her, and she's like, we're gonna eat together and sleep together and live a happy life together. And I'm like, Makima, like, it's so it makes me wonder, like, really, I'm starting to think. Remember her noble motive that she was explaining to Kishibe, like, yes, I'm going to use Chainsaw Man to eliminate poverty and war and everything. It's gonna be great. But then, like, she doesn't say anything about that here. She's just talking about like being with him. So like, I wonder if like it's one of those things where she has like a tiered motive, right? Where it's like tier one is I'm in love with this thing because, you know, this is the typical, like, think like Boa Hancock from One Piece, or just any general like bitchy woman, but then like someone is, like, I'm sure you've seen the trope before where like there's a woman, she's super hot, everyone's in love with her, but then there's one person who's like, fuck you, bitch, and then she becomes in love with that guy because she wants the one thing she can't have.
Oh yeah.
So I get that vibe from Makima being the control devil, seeing 99.999% of beings below her and can literally control everyone. The one person she can't control, of course she's going to have the hots for. It kind of reminds me a bit of David Tennant's character from Jessica... Jessica Jones?
Yep.
Yeah. And if I remember correctly, yeah, he had that's what it was. Yeah. I haven't watched that in so long. He tried to control her and she resisted, and then he immediately got the hots for her. So that's kind of the vibe I get, where like the main thing is that she literally just kind of has the hots for this thing, especially considering last chapter where she was talking to Denji like, you're getting in the way of our happiness. And I have a feeling the other goal that she talked about, this like noble, like, I'm gonna eliminate war and poverty, I feel like that's just like the excuse she tells to people to make it sound more noble. Like, sure, I'll do that, but that's like back burner shit. Like, mainly I just want to live happily with my Chainsaw Man.
That's definitely what it feels like. And then you have on pages 4 and 5, you have the callback to the original color page, where
yeah, I didn't even, did someone say that in the Discord?
Yep.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'm like, that's fucking beautiful. Like, and that's one of the things that like they were bringing up because I was watching the Discord go crazy while I was at work today. And it brought up a very valid point. Like, how are they going to pull that off in the anime?
Oh, I know how. They're gonna do a thing where it's like a fancy zoom in camera thing where like it starts off on the reflection and it zooms out from that to show the whole scene. It's gonna be awesome.
Exactly. So like the cut apart fucking Makima here on 6 and 7 is
good. Bro.
Fucking is just like one of the most gruesome scenes since the Darkness Devil.
To me, what's gruesome is more what they do, because like there's this, you know, he fucking Kishibe pulls up in the van, and he's like, hey, sorry about this, Miss Makima, and then the only thing you see after this is little like Tupperware cases of what I presume to be meat in his fridge. So literally all I can assume is that Denji standing there in the graveyard, slicing her into easy to pack into Tupperware cases, like bite-sized pieces, and then they pack her up, and then they just like drive, and he even, Kishibe is like, oh god, my back hurts, so I can only assume they were like carrying her meat up the stairs of the apartment, putting it in his fridge, like moving him in or so, like, fucking knock knock knock, your fucking Blue Apron is here, bitch.
It's like the most gruesome fate.
Did someone order big booty bitch?
Did somebody? I wonder if he ate the Pixar ass first.
Bro, I would.
You know, I'm not a big fan of eating ass.
I'm not a big fan of cannibalism, personally.
I don't know why that got me. But like, I'd eat the dump truck ass, you know.
Wow, I'm hoping they also, because I mean, like, now I'm just thinking of like all the people I know that like hunt deer and shit. Like, you gotta fucking hang that shit up, drain the blood, clean it all out. You know, like, did they do all that shit?
You see, they kind of went a little Ramsey Bolton and just flayed her.
It's a
and
good
then
thing that fucking
cut her up.
graveyard is so goddamn abandoned, because I imagine they had to literally slice her up.
Yeah, no shit. They probably had like security officers.
Yeah,
there.
Kishibe got the boys for sure.
And maybe Octopus Boy came there. Like,
Yeah,
oh yeah,
he took a break from
yeah.
slamming 16 bitches at once.
And then I got interrupted at the college orgy for the. Oh, you killed her.
Listen,
Congrats!
what was his name again? I don't even remember. I love him though.
Yoshida, I think, was his name.
Was he? Remind me. Was he the one that got knocked out of a window and then came back up and he was like, Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
I can't wait for him. I can't wait to see him again in the fucking anime. Yeah, no, wow. That's amazing. But yeah, so the end reveal is phenomenal with that double page spread. It's just like chapters like this where you get to the end and you're like, oh my God. Like, this is dark. Like, really dark. Like, kind of shit I never thought I'd see. Like, the last time I saw something like this was in One Piece with Big Mom's flashback. And you remember, David, that was actually one of the first One Piece review or chapters I filmed a live reaction to.
Oh, yeah.
And that chapter ends with her, like, eating her family on accident. And like, I love it when manga does this because it's just stupid dark. And this, I love it because like these kind of stories a lot of times, because they can't show it obviously, but they make it so obvious, and then you leave it to your imagination, because then you, like I said, this whole time I'm thinking, okay, so they sliced her up, they put her in these boxes and like Tupperware cases, they carried her up the stairs. I love that half this chapter is him just slowly preparing a meal, and I'm sitting here like, this is weird, this is sus, because this doesn't feel like Denji to me, right? Denji feels like the kind of motherfucker that would like buy a fucking Hot Pocket and like put it in the microwave. He's like really preparing this meal really fancily. Even to the point where at first when he's talking about becoming one with her, I was like, did they already do that off screen? Because like he's preparing such a fancy meal, I thought maybe like this was Makima taking over his body. But no, now I look at it as more of like, this is his way of like paying respects to Makima. Like, I'm going to consume you in the most like elegant way possible.
It definitely does seem like the respect's being paid here, because one, she was a worthy opponent.
Yeah. Well, two, he loves her still.
And two, he absolutely still has feelings for her in some sick, disgusting sort of way. And I get it, but also, Denji, you can do so much better.
Oh, definitely. I get it. Like, it's tough, man. I think that, you know how they say, like, the first woman, in our world at least, they say the first woman you have sex with, you're going to catch feelings hard because that, like, chemical shit just hits hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like for him, it's almost comparable to that or higher, because it wasn't the first woman that he had sex with, but it was, like,
the first human.
It was his doorway out of hell, basically. Like, because you go back to that first chapter.
Really ironic when you think about the concept.
You go back to that first chapter, and it's just like his life has been literally nothing but hell, like nothing good, period, with the exception of Puccietta, I suppose, in his life. And then she comes, hugs him, and then like the clouds disappear, and that's like his doorway to fucking happiness. So like I feel like that just broke his brain. Like he was never going to be able to see her as anything other than that first impression.
Yeah. Holy shit.
And of course, even throughout the series, like I said, she taught him shit. She did nice things, and it's really a shame. And I hope that, I don't know how much they can cover in the last chapter, and I really hope that the last chapter is like a longer one, kind of like what they did with Bleach, where it had like, I don't know, like 10-ish extra pages. But like I really want to know like how much of those little dates they had were legit, and was it completely just manipulating, or was there any legitimacy there? I really do. I mean, I know that she likes humans. Like she said, she does like humans. She looks at them as dogs. So there's a possibility that she genuinely wanted to like help him, make him happy on the way to getting the Chainsaw Man. I don't know, but like it just seemed so legit and genuine, the things she did. You know, it's just it's so interesting, and it makes me really want to know if they were legit or not.
Yeah, and there's one thing that was updated on the wiki that was brought up in our Discord server. Apparently, he has the ability to clone himself. which is weird. So the
Well,
Chainsaw
it's the
Man.
same thing that. Do you remember the fight when he was knocked up? Because we were both dumb and we missed this. But when he was knocked up to space, he got back down by ripping his own heart out and throwing it to Earth. And then as that heart was like burning up in the atmosphere, he regenerated from that.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, the heart specifically, he can like Deadpool style, he could like grow out of that heart. So I assume he just like ripped a chunk off the heart, and then
that was
yeah.
split. The one was not the one that was doing the fighting wasn't the actual Denji, obviously, which is a fucking insane power. I wish it would have got used a bit more.
Yeah. Well, it's probably good that he didn't discover that till now, because then that would open so many questions. But now there's like a good headcanon. You can just be like, oh, well, he didn't discover it till recently, so it's okay.
And then you didn't discover it till like 3-4 chapters.
It's a good writer cop
out. Yeah. I honestly, we've talked about it before. Now that we've reached the seeming end, like literally final chapter hits December 13th. Like we were going to read Fire Punch. So for our annual holiday stream, do you want to just do that?
Yeah, sure. I'll head over to your house. We'll fucking get some nuggies. Oh, I'll do that thing where I buy us like 100 fucking Wendy's nuggies, and we'll just go.
2 of the family size things, because that's a fucking 50-piece nugget.
There you go. 2 family size nuggies, which will feed 2 boys.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we'll just eat nuggies and read Fire Punch. Sounds good to me.
Yep, we'll read Fire Punch around Christmas time.
We're titling that stream Fire Punch and Nuggies.
Yes, we are. And it'll be on our Twitch, because we cannot get away with that on fucking YouTube.
And if, and only if, David writes down when funny moments happen, if you jot down a timestamp, I will make a highlight reel for you.
Yay! Editing. Red's favorite.
Well, like I said, if there's timestamps, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy.
It's just getting a goddamn highlight reel out of that, because fucking uploading it to the channel will be a copyright nightmare.
No. It's just, you just block out the actual fucking, you just focus in on us, and then like, yeah.
Okay.
You're overthinking it, seriously.
I guess I am. But yeah.
Main point though, all this to say, I guess, so with him eating him here, or eating Makima, does this count as the Chainsaw Man consuming, or does that have to be? Because I feel like it has to be in the form that Makima had him in for that to work. Because wasn't it the whole point of getting him in that form, or was that just because that was the version that she loved? Basically, my question is, will him consuming her in this way do the thing that they've been talking about? Erase her from existence, and also erase the concept of control from existence? Or is that something that you have to be in full Chainsaw Man mode to do?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the last really big question here. And I guess we might get an answer to that.
I hope so.
In the next chapter, or the final chapter, I should say. It feels so surreal to think that this is actually ending. This has made my 2020 so much fun.
Yeah. Honestly, if you want to fucking just feel the time, David, this manga started maybe like a month or 2 after you moved out of the apartment we lived in together.
Jesus fucking Christ, kill me.
Mm-hmm.
Slit my fucking throat, Red.
It was right after the con that year.
Throat. Oh my god.
Yeah. I was a different person. That was like back when I weighed like almost 300 pounds too.
And I was I'm still a cunt. What the hell am I talking about?
Yeah, but you weren't a twink yet, and you're more acceptable now that you're a twink.
I love that that's the threshold.
You're less threatening because you have a douchey personality. Let's be honest. We love you, but you come off as a right cunt. And it's a lot easier to deal with a right cunt who is not intimidating in any way because you feel like you could blow them over.
I mean, Dr. Stone's skip proved that. Like, literally, I am literally the least intimidating person until you piss me off, and then I knock your lights out.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I feel like he'd go. When was the last time you threw a punch? Don't make anything up. I really want to know. Last time you threw a punch.
Last time I threw a punch was when I got assaulted at work.
Which was when?
A year and a half ago.
Okay, so I feel like if you try to throw a punch now, you'd break your arm in half, and you'd be like, "Oh my god."
Want to test that theory?
Not on me, bitch. Punch your dad or something.
No, I'm not assaulting
Oh,
anybody.
now you don't want to punch your dad. Yeah, okay.
There's not a day that goes by that I don't want to knock the fucking smug off of his face. But no.
Amazing.
It's not worth it.
Also, is it just me or does Denji's hair look like way longer?
It does.
Just post time skip Denji.
How many bento boxes did he make of Makima?
Bro, right? And that's also a question. Does he have to eat all of her? Because, like, I'm trying to think. Like,
Do you think human wrecks the fucking stomach?
ugh. I can't, bro. That's so gross to me. I hear
Is it
it's
like
comparable to pork in taste.
but is it like eating shitty Taco Bell 5 meals a day bad? Or is
He
it
should make
like...
some. He should make some pulled pork, pulled makima. Put some barbecue sauce in that shit.
And with that, peace.
Bro. Oh, you know what? The ass. He should have taken the ass specifically and put that shit in like a slow cooker, like a crock pot. And then you could get the meat all tenderized.
This has been Cannibal Tips with Red.
What? Oh God. Fried pussy lips. Potato chips out of the pussy skin. This is getting gross.
Peace.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? Do you have to eat literally all of her for this to work? I feel like because and that's the thing. You have lines here.
How does cooked pussy taste?
And the great how that pussy taste, Denji? Makima, ethereal soul Makima is like floating around like, yo, how that pussy taste, Denji?
Is it
like
wet
my
and
motherfucking
gushy?
clit.
Is it wet and gushy?
Good lord. It's not very gushy right now. It's the driest pussy y'all ever have.
I'm done.
No, I'm not done. I have more to talk about. So there's these lines here from fucking Kishibe here. He says, you'll be handling everything personally here. And then he says, innocent people are losing their lives as we speak. So I'd prefer if you moved along quickly as you can. So what I take from that, and I love this too, remember Makima's contract with the Prime Minister. That is still in effect, I assume. So what's so fun about this series, some people might hate this. I enjoy it. It's one of the best series to headcanon. There's so much headcanon, right? So like my take on that line is I think she is in a permanent state of like dying and regeneration right now. And I think that it's Power's blood keeping her that way. So as her little bits are sitting in these fucking Tupperware containers, I think her body is probably trying to regenerate but not able to because of the power blood, is my guess. So every time it's attempting to regenerate, I imagine, because there's this line here, he says innocent people are losing their lives. Why would that be the case? Her body is here. So the only reason that should be the case is if that contract is still just constantly killing random people. So just random people in Japan are just dropping like flies until he eats her, because right now she's probably constantly trying to regenerate.
Here's the other thought. Can she regenerate inside of Denji?
Exactly. Yeah, it's totally possible. And it's really going to come down to like who's more powerful, that stomach acid, the Chainsaw Man, or her.
There's little tiny Chainsaw Man blood cells, and they're fighting.
Well, yeah, we might even have a fucking scene where like Makima's blood is in there, and like Puchetta is like eating it inside of his body. Like, who knows?
Some Osmosis Jones.
Well,
shit.
I imagine we're gonna get. Remember the scene we got where Power in the form of her blood was talking to Puchetta in his body. We're probably gonna get something like that with Makima in his body. But like, I just love that like because and the way she died too is being like sliced into very fine bits with this with a chainsaw. So I imagine randos around Japan are just randomly like getting sliced to bits like every 5 seconds, like bing, bing, bing.
If we get any merch out of this, I want a little plush Puchetta.
Yeah, I agree, but can we talk about how fucking tragic and funny it is that random civilians are just dropping dead in horrific ways?
Yeah, you can do this so much better if you just pop the Prime Minister.
Oh yeah, no, they really. I feel like they really should have done that. I really want an AU with that plan going through. But like, yeah, and I like it too because Denji's so nonchalant about it. Like he's like, hey, try to go quick because randos are dropping. But I suppose you can't rush your digestive system. He's like, and then Denji's like, yeah, bro, I'm taking my time. I'm gonna fucking cook her up in a 5-star meal, bro.
Yeah, that's like the biggest flex. Like, I don't care about any of these people. I need to pay my respects to my waifu.
Yeah, that dump truck ass. Wait for no man. Okay.
And dump truck ass ain't gonna eat itself.
Bro, he should have invited people over at a little Thanksgiving.
You know, there's a old...
The response, by the way, the correct response there is fucking who? Who does he invite over? Everyone's dead.
Well, that's pretty obvious at this point. But no, like, legitimately, there's an old South Park episode, Scott Tinnerman Must Die, where Cartman was sold fucking pubes because, of course, Cartman is, and just A-plot. And then his revenge was to get Scott Tinnerman's parents killed by a crazy fucking farmer.
And then feed him his own parents, I assume?
In a chili cook-off.
Amazing.
And then he drank Scott Tinnerman's tears in front of his favorite band.
That's a flex. Also, I just thought about it, though, and it's a shame that the author is going to miss this opportunity unless it happens next chapter, but I highly doubt it. I want a Thanksgiving. Denji, the 3 characters that are fucking left alive. Denji, Kishibe, and Kobani. Just eating Makima. But no one tells Kobani that it's Makima they're eating. So she's like, this meat's a little tough. Where did you get this?
No, my fucking no, just no, Red, no.
I know. No, it has to be Denji alone. I feel like if anyone else tried to eat Makima, she probably would just like fucking alien out of their chest, like aliens out of their chest, ass first. It's the biggest part of her body, obviously.
Chest bursters, just with their ass cheeks clapping.
Yo, first of all, please someone draw that. Makima's ass just bursting out of Denji's chest. You thought you could contain this ass. Nothing
There's
can.
something seriously wrong with you. You know that, right?
Me?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm just saying what we're all thinking, bro. Like, I'm a fucking martyr for all of your dirty, horrific thoughts. I'm here to bring them to light. You're welcome.
Oh my word! I mean, you kind of are,
Yeah.
but goddamn, that is.
Remember when
terrifying.
you were the crazy one, and then you decided to become a pussy? So I fucking took up the mantle.
I mean, you took over fucking nothing. I'm so crazy.
Oh, really? When was the last crazy thing you said, huh? You almost wanted me to edit out the part of the video where you were talking about unplugging your mom's life support. Bitch.
I did. I think that was the last crazy thing I've said, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've been talking about Scott Tinnerman Must Die. I've talked about like a lot of crazy.
A South Park reference, so crazy.
Cannibalism, you fucking cunt. We've been talking about like fried pussy.
All of this was brought up by me. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just over here like I don't know how much more crazy we can get than this episode of fucking Chainsaw Man. Okay, I can't outdo fried pussy lips, Red.
Listen,
I'm sorry.
Listen, you peaked with clip bullet and cum wall, okay?
I mean, you're not wrong.
I'm kidding. You're invaluable. Anyway, final thoughts.
I'm easily replaceable.
No, you're not, David. You have a fucking gremlin energy that cannot be matched.
Aw, bitch.
Bitch.
But no, like I literally have no more brain power. So peace.
Brain empty, head empty.
Head is empty, both heads. Peace.
Okay, this was a great second to last chapter. I'm very sad that this series is over, almost, and I love it, and I'm sad, but it has
Well,
to...
so to fucking cover the anime, the hell are you talking about, you psychopath?
Definitely, bro. Hype. Pog.
Right. Pog. Peace.
Ask your respective significant others if you're their little pog champ today, and peace.